On the afternoon of October 2002, multiple eyewitnesses reported a disturbing incident in public view. A woman was forcibly removed from her vehicle by a group of unidentified men. She reportedly resisted and called for help, but one of the men struck her before forcing her into another car. The vehicle then left the scene. Passers-by attempted to intervene, but it was too late. The woman was later identified as Che Puan Hasleza Ishak, a member of the Perak royal household. Although her status made this a high-profile matter, information about the case remains limited in public records and news archives. This is a documented account of the events surrounding the abduction and murder of Che Puan Hasleza Ishak. Who was Hasleza Ishak? Che Puan Hasleza Ishak was born on December 25, 1976, in Ipoh, Perak, Malaysia, into a wealthy family. In her early years, she worked as a waitress. Over time, her appearance led her into the local modeling industry. She gained moderate success as a model and was later offered acting roles in Malaysian films. By the late 1990s, she had gained some public recognition through her involvement in the entertainment industry. However, no available records or archives of her film work could be verified during this research. This may be due to the limited digital documentation practices in Malaysia during that period. The breaking line. In January 2002, Hasleza Ishak married Malaysia's then 62-year-old Raja Jafar ibn Raja Muda Musa in a private ceremony held in southern Thailand. At the time, Hasleza, aged 26, was a public figure with recognition as a model and actress in Malaysia. Following the union, which was conducted according to royal customs, she was conferred the status of Che Puan, a formal title signifying her role as a royal consort. She resided in the royal household alongside Raja Jafar's first wife, Raja Nur Mahani, who was 61 years old at the time. Raja Jafar was the Raja Dihilar of Perak, placing him as the deputy crown prince and second in line to the Perak state throne. The Perak Sultanate is one of Malaysia's oldest monarchies, functioning under a unique rotational system among 9 Malay royal houses. Raja Jafar was the son of the late Raja Muda Musa and Puan Maryam binti Abdullah. Under Islamic law, polygamy is permitted, allowing Muslim men to have up to 4 wives. Raja Jafar's first marriage to Raja Nur Mahani had endured for several decades prior to his marriage to Hasleza. The Oath. On October 6, 2002, in the Perak state capital of Ipoh, approximately 170 kilometers north of Kuala Lumpur, Che Puan Hasleza Ishak was forcibly abducted in broad daylight. Eyewitnesses saw 2 men drag her out of her vehicle while she screamed for help. The incident occurred near her residence in Taman Pinji Perdana. Just 5 days later, on October 11, 2002, her body was found under a bridge, 29.1-meter high bridge, as high as a 5-story building, along KM 63, Jalan Sumpatan, in the district of Leret Matang and Selama. She was still clad in jeans and a tank top. The discovery triggered widespread public outcry. Authorities quickly launched an investigation, identifying a group of 5 men allegedly responsible for the abduction and murder. Among them were J. Mangni Mangran, 26, a fisherman; Sabaruddin Nan, 33, a carpenter; Mat Saad Isa, 50, one of the 2 Bomos, traditional shamans; Rahim Ismail, 46, who was a nephew of Raja Nur Mahani; and Tengku Arif Tansha Tengku Muhammad Ansari, 40, an aide at the Astana Raja Dihilar. Notably, Rahim and Tengku Arif Tansha were charged with abetment in the commission of the offense. Police reports also stated that a fisherman, a farmer, and a carpenter had confessed to kidnapping and killing Hasleza, while a palace worker and an unemployed man had admitted to assisting them. Mat Saad Isa provided extensive testimony in court. He stated that at approximately 3 p.m. on October 6, he, along with Sabaruddin and Mongni Mongran, left in Sabaruddin's car and arrived in Taman Pinji Perdana around 6 p.m. They observed Hasleza's car in the garage and began circling the neighborhood to wait for her to leave. A confrontation ensued when their vehicle and hers intersected at a junction. According to Mat Saad, claimed Hasleza shouted, "Stupid, don't you know how to drive?" prompting him to exit the vehicle and smash her windscreen. With Mongni Mongran's help, forcefully dragged her out and into their vehicle as she screamed for help, into Sabaruddin's vehicle. One witness followed their vehicle at a distance, noting their passage past the Taman Pinji Perdana guardhouse and onto the main road toward Leha. He stopped at a petrol station but managed to record their license plate number, aiding the investigation. Mat Saad subsequently phoned Rahim Ismail, who instructed him to follow Tengku Arif Tansha. The men then proceeded toward Jalan Sumpatan, an isolated area, and were later joined by a black vehicle whose driver identified himself as Tengku Arif Tansha. Mat Saad later confessed to striking Hasleza on the neck with his hand and throwing her off the bridge. For his confession and cooperation, Mat Saad was sentenced to 14 years in prison for manslaughter. The abandoned vehicle, a brown Proton Saga, was recovered days later. Inside were brown stains confirmed to be Hasleza's blood, 9 strands of hair, 2 bagged cushions for cigarette butts, sent for DNA analysis, and soil containing broken glass and foreign fibers. With this evidence, authorities shifted their focus from a rescue mission to a recovery effort. Throughout the proceedings, significant attention was directed at Raja Noor Mahani, first wife to Raja Jafar, was closely examined. While she acknowledged consulting the Bomos, she denied orchestrating Hasleza's murder. Mahani claimed that Hasleza had cursed their household with Santau, a type of black magic poison, leading to bizarre phenomena. She experienced rashes and vomiting of crystals, infants were heard crying when none were present, snakes appeared and vanished, and mysterious sounds like bamboo-like thuds after midnight. For her defense, Raja Noor Mahani retained Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, one of Malaysia's highest-paid attorneys. Raja Noor Mahani testified that her intent was solely to remove the curse, not to kill Hasleza. She even stated, "It would jeopardize my high position and mar the good name of my family and the state. Throughout our marriage, my husband had often been out of line, but our household had never been invaded by supernatural beings," she said. She explained that the rituals, including the use of a buffalo nose string soaked in mineral water, were intended to purify Raja Jafar's affections. Rahim Ismail testified that he had given Mahani a bottle of mineral water containing the string and instructed her to add drops of it to her husband's coffee, a ritual meant to bind romantic loyalty through sympathetic magic. She was detained and questioned for a week after the murder but was ultimately released without charge. Eventually, the charges against the group were reduced from murder to culpable homicide not amounting to murder. On April 25, 2003, they were convicted and each sentenced to 20 years in prison. Upon appeal, their sentences were reduced to 14 years. On October 30, 2004, subsequent appeals were dismissed. However, on August 18, 2006, the Federal Court of Malaysia acquitted Tengku Arif Tansha and Rahim Ismail, while upholding the convictions of the remaining accused. Ansari and Ismail were released that same day. The aftermath. Hasleza was laid to rest in Pantai Remis, Manyang District, on October 26, 2002. Princess Mahani passed away on October 3, 2017. We may never know what truly happened that night. May Princess Hasleza Ishak rest in peace.